good.
Okay, you good? All right. Grace, there was no... At that time had to, yeah. We're ready? Okay, thank you guys. So let me start by asking you a very pertinent question, and that has to do with the issue of security. Aren't you concerned, and members of the National Assembly, aren't you concerned that a bulk of our security affairs are handled by the military? One would argue that Nigeria is more or less still militarized, because when it comes to security, even internal security, we have the military spread, across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Aren't you concerned that very little Nigerian police plays a very little role in all of this?
Well, I'm concerned, but as a public office holder, I agree with the deployment of military to participate in internal security of Nigeria. If you have the history of Nigerian security situation and how they emanate from all the geopolitical zones of Nigeria, you will definitely know that the police doesn't have the platform to be able to address those security challenges. In the past, you've mentioned a lot of reforms, intended reforms by previous administration that would have seen the light of the day in times of, when last have you heard of the development of police training institutions in Nigeria? When last have you heard of establishment of new police training colleges in Nigeria? With the level of population of the people of this country, would you say that the number of police that are in service today will be able to address the security infractions? So if police is incapacitated, I use that word without any fear of political misrepresentation, there is a need for the military, who is supposed to protect the country from external aggression, to come in and play a role. Look at the militants in the southern part of Nigeria, and look at the security situation in the southwestern part of Nigeria, and look at the Boko Haram in the south, in the northeast, and look at the bandits in the northwest, and look at the Fulani farmers herders crisis in the north central. You will know that the police doesn't have the platform to be able to face those security challenges without deploying even the paramilitary organization, the civil defense, the immigration, the custom, to assist the police in the maintenance of security. And that is why you have joint operations in Plateau, you have joint operations in the northeast, you have joint operation in the north central, and what have you. So the security challenge is so overwhelming that for this country to be where it is today, there is a need for the military to come and participate, because they seems to have more platforms and more weapons than our regular police. And why do they have it? Because of the long time military administration we have in Nigeria. You have a military head of state who is not a democratically elected government. What he knows is the military. What he wants to empower to remain in power is the military. So what does he want to suffocate is the police, who is supposed to be the force under a civilian administration. So I think again that unless the civilian democratically elected government pay attention to police reform does not stop at making laws for police. It goes beyond that. It equally goes to say that the executive in all part must make sure that all the required platforms that the police want to fight internal insecurity as the lead security agents in the country in times of democracy, they need to get the platform they require to be able to face those challenges and to be able to face security situation. And unless this is done, do not hope that military will go out of the military will go off issue of internal security maintenance by assisting the police. They will remember
Okay.
They have to remain there.
Okay, so 2 more questions. It has to be on your bill, once again, the Police Service Commission Act and all of that. What are the benefits that Nigeria will derive from this? Because already from the answer you've given, I have a little bit of a direction where this bill might be going to, but what are the benefits that Nigeria, the common man on the street, will benefit?
It has a lot of benefit, because it has further empowered the Police Service Commission to be expanded, so much so that the representative of all coalition of civil society organizations is suggested to be brought on board if the bill is passed into law by Mr. President, so that issue of indiscipline among the police officers, it is going to be a people participatory commission where the coalition of civil society organization, the representative of the Nigerian Bar Association and others will be able to be part of the decision making in terms of the discipline of the errant police officers that decide to take laws in their own hands. I think if this is addressed, it's one of the fundamental achievements that the Police Service Commission will achieve, that the Nigerian government will achieve, that issue of police brutality and issue of abuse of fundamental human rights by police is going to be taken care of. Looking at how the Police Act is put together, now the Police Service Commission Amendment Bill, repeal and amendment, reenactment is equally taking responsibility of some of these deficiencies and cries by the people of this country. At the end of the day, you have a Police Service Commission that will, represent the people as well as represent the police force. In addition to that, annually, the police is expected to recruit 10,000 constables per annum. Are they doing it now? No. Reason being that there is a big legislative gap in terms of legal framework between the Nigerian police force and the Police Service Commission, where in the past, for many more years, the Inspector General of Police had been the one recruiting constable into the Nigerian police force. But for some reasons, in 1 or 2 years, another Inspector General of Police allowed the Police Service Commission to recruit constable in the Nigerian police force. There is an existing lacuna in the existing Police Service Commission Act. And therefore, if I have the idea of moving forward for the reform of Police Act, it is not complete without adjusting the content of the Police Service Commission to speak to the Police Act, so that you have a balanced law, so that everybody will know his or her own responsibility. Then there was a situation in this dispensation that the Police Service Commission took police force, the Inspector General of Police, to court, that challenging his powers to recruit. The High Court gave judgment in favor of the Inspector General of Police that he had the power to recruit because he had the police training colleges. The police training colleges that are established in Nigeria are not under the Police Service Commission.
Sure.
And he had the manpower. The trained police officers are under the control of the Inspector General of Police, being the operational commandant of the Nigerian police. Then the High Court gave judgment. The judgment was appealed. I am in a dilemma here. Why will even the office of the Attorney General of the Federation will allow agencies within one federating unit to be challenging themselves in the court? This would have been a situation that would have been addressed by the executive arm of government. Then I was equally privileged to see correspondences from the office of the Attorney General as a lawmaker that is making research to reform the Police Service Commission, where he explicitly explained, based on the provision of the law, that the power to recruit police constable in the Nigerian police is a prerogative of the police force or the Inspector General of Police. I have those letters of clarification at the instance of the late Chief of Staff to the President, where he requested the Attorney General, when the Police Service Commission took police force to court, what is the position of the two. Then if I'm privileged to have that legal enlightenment from the Chief Law Officer of Nigeria, which is the Attorney General of the Federation, I think we should be able to do that law in such a way that you know your power, I know my power. And that is why I'm going details here. The content of the Police Service Commission repeal and reenactment distinguish the power of recruitment, specifying the responsibility of recruitment in the Nigerian police to be the powers of the Inspector General of Police or the police force, based on the informed position of the Attorney General of the Federation and the earlier judgment of the High Court before the judgment of the Appeal Court that turned the judgment of the High Court. The adjustment in the content was informed by first the judgment of the High Court, which gave the power of recruitment to the Inspector General of Police, and secondly, the informed position of the Attorney General of the Federation to say that based on having gone through the Constitution, having gone through the Police Act, and the Act establishing the Police Service Commission, it is his candid legal view that the recruitment into the Nigerian police should be the responsibility of the Inspector General of Police. And we decided to distinguish those functions. And we said, yes, people look at Police Service Commission as Civil Service Commission. It's not supposed to be like that. Civil Service Commission is different from military or police commission. You cannot define Police Service Commission in the context of Civil Service Commission, no. Okay. Because in the police, who is to work with a police officer that is recruited today? The Inspector General of Police, not the Police Service Commission. Then it is the Inspector General of Police that knows the character he won in the Nigerian police to be recruited into the Nigerian police. But the power to appoint after recruitment is the responsibility of the Police Service Commission. And that is what the Constitution says. Appointment of police officers other than that of the Inspector General of Police, which is the prerogative of Mr. President. Any other appointment is the responsibility of the Police Service Commission.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Very, very in-depth explanation there. But there's, of course, there's this pending issue of the tenure elongation of the Inspector General of Police. One would wonder, did the federal government use the back door in trying to or attempting to extend the tenure of this Inspector General of Police? I understand, yes, it's a law that has been enacted there in the Police Act, but people would ask, why make it seem as though it's like using the back door to extend the tenure of the current police chief?
Well, that is people's perception, and people have right to their own perception. People have right to think the way they want to think, but more so in a democratic setting. But it is another thing for that thinking to be right or wrong. So in this case, the thinking is wrong, because how can it be a backdoor when Section 7, subsection 6 of the existing Police Act says that the tenure of office of the Inspector General of Police should be 4 years? This is the act that I push for police reform. And what was the wisdom behind National Assembly passing a tenure for the Inspector General of Police? It's because from 1999 till date, when Nigeria decided to embrace democracy again, we have had 11 to 12 Inspector General of Police. The President removes Inspector General of Police the way he wants and appoints a new one. You are talking about police reform. People may think we are selfish, but it's their own business. You cannot reform an institution without stability in that institution. You think this reform of one, the Police Act that was signed by Mr. President, implementing its content in terms of ensuring police officers respect the fundamental human right of Nigerians. Two, the National Institute of Police Studies of ensuring foreigners invest in training and retraining of Nigerian police, and equally ensuring that we have trained the serving police officers to a rank of professors. When they leave the police colleges, they equally impart knowledge to the society. Three, the bill for the establishment of the Police Training Institute in Nigeria that is on the pipeline. And four, the bill providing legal framework for police, Police Academy in Wudil. There have been graduating set of police officers, but without legal backup. It's an existing institution that have legal backup. They have no legal backup. And that's why they don't have foreign support in terms of funds. Then if that bill should equally be passed, you think it will be absolute and implemented for police to be appointed IG for 7 months, 1 year, 7 months, and dismiss or retire tomorrow another person? How can the reform be implemented? It is in that spirit and wisdom that the National Assembly, through me, my bill, says that if we have had 11 to 12 Inspector General of Police in the past 12 years, this bill was signed into law since September 15, 2020. It's not a bill that starts today. And this bill has been in the 4 angles of Senate and the House of Reps for the past 1 year, from 19 to 2019.
Just tell us that there's a bill.
No, there's no bill. There was a bill.
Yes.
Public hearing was invited. I assure you, your channel, television, the CTS-TV were there during the public hearing on the Police Act. And the section that suggested for a tenure to be given to Inspector General of Police was in that bill. And it was debated on the floor of the House and was passed unanimously by the House of Representatives and by the Senate, in the wisdom of ensuring that the reform are implemented. You need stability in the police. You don't need a police that a person will come. It's not about the serving Inspector General of Police. It's about the institution. The bill was not aimed to benefit an individual, but to benefit police reform. We need stability. Somebody should be there for the period of 4 years to ensure there are infrastructural development in the Nigerian police, to ensure the content of these reforms are implemented from one level to another. This is what we want. And that was why Section 7, subsection 6 of the Police Act that was debated over 1 year in the Senate and in the House of Reps suggests for a tenure of 4 years to the Inspector General of Police. And in the wisdom of Mr. President, he signed the law. Now the other contradiction is this. I don't want to go into the politics of who become Inspector General of Police, but I will be interested, even if the whole world will misunderstand me, if I think I am right, I will be interested in debating, sustaining someone as Inspector General of Police to exist there and ensure stability, ensure foundation for the reform is laid in the next 4 years. Do not hope again. I'm not threatening anybody that if you change Inspector General of Police today, bring another one tomorrow, that we are serious even about the police reform. So let's throw our sentiment away. The religiosity, the ethnicity, and what have you, and think for the collective prospect of the Nigerian people by allowing the man. I'm a parliament. I'm not supposed to be anybody's mouthpiece. I say my mind irrespective of whether it pleases you or displeases you. So as long as I am thinking within the parameter of making sure that reform have taken place in the Nigerian police and Nigerian benefit from that, and it address insecurity, to hell with anybody's perspective regarding to a parliament talking in favor of existing Inspector General of Police. And the content of the Police Act again says the serving police officers are to be beneficiaries of the provision of the 2020 Police Act. And if it says so, what is wrong with the present Inspector General of Police? What has he done that you think he doesn't require to be the one to continue and make sure that the reform process initiated by the National Assembly, signed by Mr. President, stabilizes? What is wrong? Our problem in Nigeria is sentiment and the bring him down syndrome. I want to succeed him. They have their own politics there in the police headquarters. That if we don't, they are the one hitting the polity. The same police officers are the one hitting the polity. But the law is there. If this Police Act says, don't arrest don't arrest me because my son is a suspect. Hither to this morning, you can arrest me because my son is a suspect. Now the act says, don't arrest me because my son is a suspect. And it doesn't require the approval of anybody for that section to be implemented. Why do you think that the tenure must require approval of someone before the Inspector General of Police benefit from the tenure that is provided in the 2020 Police Act? Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.